Business Lesson 24. Could you be an entrepreneur? Book 5. Business English. Zoom in. Page 172. Qualities of an entrepreneur. Initiator. This is the one who starts it, whatever it is. The guy who shouts, "Let's get this party started," is the initiator. An initiator is an instigator, one who begins something. Self-confidence. Always doing the right thing, despite what others might think of you. Having the confidence to leave behind what makes you comfortable to try new challenges. Identifying your own weaknesses and implementing ways to overcome them. Optimism. This is a mindset, an outlook on life that can assist leaders and their organizations in adapting to change. The ability to create an optimistic culture contributes not only to the well-being of your people, but to a positive business strategy of problem-solving and resilience, enabling progress and a focus on the future. Accountability. This is an acceptance of responsibility for honest and ethical conduct towards others. In the corporate world, a company's accountability extends to its shareholders, employees, and the wider community in which it operates. In a wider sense, accountability implies a willingness to be judged on performance. Responsibility. Simply put, responsible business is the practice of creating customer value through the active concern for people, ethics, equity, and environmental impacts while running a profitable business. Resourceful. When applied to the business world, being resourceful is finding and using available resources to solve problems and achieve goals. It's seeing challenges as opportunities, rather than problems to fix. Problem solver. In business, problem solving is defined as implementing processes that reduce or remove obstacles that are preventing you or others from accomplishing operational and strategic business goals. Vision. Based on your goals and aspirations, a vision is the desired image of what you want your business to become in the future. A vision statement provides you and your employees with direction, purpose, motivation, and inspiration to achieve the desired outcome for your business. Passion. This is a word often used in the context of customer service and customer experience. Passion will drive excellence and continual improvement, and without passion, it is next to impossible to deliver at a world-class standard. Independent thinker. This is someone who analyzes situations using their own judgment rather than conforming to public opinion. They evaluate multiple perspectives, collect evidence, ask questions, and use critical thinking skills. Article Part 1, page 173. 8. Surprising signs you could be an entrepreneur. Are you a rule-breaking idea machine? Then the future could be yours. Being a successful entrepreneur, however, is something else entirely. It means being a jack of all trades who's unafraid to get their hands dirty and can work efficiently. Most entrepreneurs can spot these qualities in themselves from a young age. It's in their gut, and something that can't be shaken off so easily. But in case you're unsure whether you share common traits with the likes of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, or have what it takes to escape the race by pursuing and building your own idea, here are 8 telltale signs to watch for. 1. You have lightbulb moments all the time. If you are constantly toying with new ideas and solutions for problems you see around you, it could be a sign you are, or could be, an entrepreneur. People, problems, and markets change. An entrepreneur will adapt their approach and product to best serve their customer base. 2. You're a rule breaker. Always had a rebellious streak inside you? Chances are that if you're a breaker of conventions, you're a potential entrepreneur. It's often the most unique ideas and new routes to typically mundane endeavors that lead to the most successful new businesses. 3. You like to be on your own. Though entrepreneurs do have to be able to interact and communicate well, sell ideas and motivate those around them, it's also quite normal for entrepreneurs to spend time alone reflecting. Many entrepreneurs, outside of business, have a small circle of trusted friends, mentors, and advisors who help them process ideas and plan their next moves. 4. You're easily distracted. Some of the greatest minds in history had relatively short attention spans. Entrepreneurs can often be spread thin by their constant stream of ideas and potential solutions, but conversely, they are often incredibly focused when it comes to crunch time. 5. You're a little naive. Did Mark Zuckerberg ever consider that perhaps people don't want to share their daily activities with their peers? After all, pre-Facebook generations were relatively private people. As we know, it didn't matter in the end. Sometimes, not overthinking or second-guessing is a risk worth taking in itself. 6. You know that regimented routine is a myth. Sure, That super dedicated work schedule does work for some successful entrepreneurs, but just as many entrepreneurs make their own hours while multitasking time outside of the office and with their families. 7. You know when to say when. 1 ethos I follow closely in life is that it's important to work to live, not live to work. It's true that many, or most entrepreneurs are workaholics, but there's a trend among the best that sometimes it's important to take time out. Whether that's a day of being unplugged from tech or a few days at a retreat, any successful business person occasionally switches completely off. 8. You don't fear failing. Taking calculated risks supported by due diligence and being unafraid and afraid of the outcome gives entrepreneurs a certain amount of indescribable pleasure and demonstrates confidence in both themselves and their organization. And that, more often than not, leads to success. Article Part 2, page 174. 7 characteristics of people who are not ready to be an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. It usually takes years of hard work, long hours, and no recognition to achieve success. Many entrepreneurs give up or fail for other reasons, such as running out of money. Statistics show that over 50% of businesses fail after 5 years in the United States. 40% of startup failures are because of poor fit, with 38% due to lack of time and involvement close behind. 1. Do you like to stay in your comfort zone? As an entrepreneur, days are never the same. One day you might be alone writing, designing, or coding your product. The next day you could be attending sales meetings, interviewing candidates, or being a guest on a podcast. If you're an introvert like me, the first day feels a little better, but you need to put yourself out there and be okay with being uncomfortable. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you did something that scared you? It might sound corny, but if you can't remember the last time you took a risk, then maybe being an entrepreneur isn't for you. Vera Wang took a lot of risks in starting her fashion business. He was definitely out of his comfort zone. The former figure skater did not qualify for the 1968 U.S. Olympic team. She knew she needed to reinvent herself and change her career direction. She was already working at Ralph Lauren, but it wasn't until 1989 that she discovered her true passion. She was getting ready for her wedding and didn't like any of the dresses she saw. She thought there should be more modern and contemporary fashion options. So, she made her own dress. She designed it and hired a seamstress to make it for $10,000. It was a big risk, but it was worth it. Now, Vera Wang is known worldwide for the innovative style of her wedding dresses. None of this would have been possible if she had never taken the risk of making her first dress. 2. You think it's a way to make money easily. I can't imagine a slower way to make money than being an entrepreneur. You could work for years without ever seeing a dime. The time it takes to generate profits with your startup is very consuming. You work more than 8 hours a day, leaving little time for other opportunities to generate income, such as another job. Many successful entrepreneurs have been able to work on their businesses while also working a regular job, like Jason Key. He started a clothing business at age 22 and made over $200,000 in his first year while still holding his full-time job. This is pretty impressive, but it's not the rule. While it's possible to start a blog or business that generates money quickly, most don't generate anything for a year or more. You need to start your business with the mindset that you'll still be working on it 5 years from now. As Jeff Hayden says, as a business owner, you earn the right to still be in business tomorrow today. Nothing is guaranteed in the future. You can't treat your business like a get-rich-quick scheme. It simply won't work. 3. You are a procrastinator. If you cannot manage your time efficiently, you are doomed to fail as an entrepreneur. When you work for yourself, there isn't a boss keeping an eye on you or monitoring your time card to make sure you're working hard. If you're not working hard on your own business, why are you even working? If you're working hard but feeling like you're not getting anywhere, you need to take a step back and prioritize your tasks. Your tasks can only fit into one of 4 categories. Urgent and important. It's the things that just can't wait. Whether it's a quote for a new client, returning a call, or finishing a blog post before the deadline, you need to make sure you get it done. Important but not urgent. It's a task that's important, but the world won't end if you don't do it right now. It could be returning a routine email or updating your social media accounts. Urgent and not important. An urgent task that isn't important could be something like renewing your business license or ordering new office supplies. You can easily delegate these tasks to someone else. Not urgent and not important. Don't even waste your time on these tasks. Get rid of them. An example of tasks like these might be exploring a new business idea. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing to do, but it won't help your current business. Set it aside until you have time to devote to it. Research has already proven that multitasking is not efficient. People's lack of focus costs the global economy an estimated $450 billion a year. 4. You don't know how to create a marketing strategy. This one is hard. Learning marketing takes a lot of time. When you're starting out, you need to play every position. You are the CEO, head of finance, customer service agent, janitor, and marketing department all rolled into one. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? You can have a really great product, but without the right marketing, nobody will even know about it. You need to invest time in learning how to market your business. A customer personal. How are you going to know what product to create or how to sell it if you don't know who you're selling it to? Think of your ideal customer. It is for him that you are creating the product or service. Write everything you know about him. Your customer persona should include age, average salary, what type of job they have. Your value proposition. This is why your customers buy your product or service. It's what makes you unique, innovative, and worthy of the money you're spending. A good value proposition includes your product's key benefit in a way that isn't forced. A good example is Uber. They focus on being the easiest way to get out there. Uber explains how this works in one sentence. One click, and a car comes directly to you. They never say that taxis or public transport are bad. They just focus on clearly explaining the service and how well it fits into your day. Personally, I'm a big fan of Uber. I use it to get around whenever I travel instead of renting my own car. Your marketing and sales objectives. You may not know exactly how to market your product right now, but do you know where you're going? Having clear objectives for your marketing strategy is very important for the long-term success of your company. Writing down your goals makes you 50% more likely to achieve them. If you're creating a new software product, your goal is probably to get as many users as you can. You need to be specific with your goals. How many users do you want this quarter? And in the next? And by the end of the year, detail everything and review your process regularly. 5. You can't think of any problems to solve. Think about your everyday life. Can you think of a new product idea that would make your life easier or more efficient? Perhaps your idea is an automatic holder for those bags on the market that take forever to open with your fingers. Or you could come up with a new way to find what you're looking for in supermarket sections, such as a store app that includes a map of all sections instead of having to walk through them all. Did you notice that I don't really like shopping at the market? But seriously, if you can't think of even one small thing to improve your life, how are you going to improve the lives of others? Being an entrepreneur means creating creative solutions to problems and putting something new into the world. Your idea may come from years of experience or out of nowhere someday. But you need to have an idea. Most startup founders got their ideas from working in their industry for a while and seeing the problems firsthand. Second, 19% are founders who invented something they wanted to see in the world. In third place, at 11%, are founders whose ideas are copies of other businesses, but who do things differently or better than others do. Whichever category your business falls into, you need to figure out how to attract customers. That means finding out what problem people have and solving it. If you can't do that, you're not an entrepreneur. 6. You make a lot of plans, but you don't act. Many people think that making a business plan means they are starting a business. This is very wrong. I could plan my meals for the week, but unless I cook them, will I eat them? No. Planning means nothing without action. Many people are afraid of failure if they start a business. A recent study in the European Union found that nearly 40% of people considering entrepreneurship are afraid of failure. Financial considerations are definitely understandable. Many entrepreneurs end up failing before they succeed, which was true in my case. Surprisingly, a fear of losing personal freedom also made the list of people's biggest fears of entrepreneurship. You might feel like everything you're doing is for your business, because it probably is. Being an entrepreneur isn't for the faint of heart, and it's definitely not for people afraid of failure. You can make the necessary plans to start your business while still taking daily action to get there. Perhaps you need to fundraise for a brick-and-mortar store. While you're at it, you can still apply for business licenses, research what products you'll offer, and start relationships with vendors. There are always tasks you can do to move your business forward. If all you're doing is making a to-do list instead, these items will never get done. 7. You get along with everyone. Being an entrepreneur doesn't make you Mr. Popularity. From needing to hire and fire employees to working with partners, you need to know when to stand up for your ideas when others disagree. A scientific study even found that antisocial teens are more likely to become entrepreneurs. Another study of entrepreneurs who started more than one business found that they possess much stronger persuasion skills than the average person. Part of being persuasive is convincing other people that you're right when they think you're wrong. If you're the type of person who can't handle a confrontation, being an entrepreneur isn't for you. I'm not saying you have to be able to yell at people or use intimidation to get what you want. These are childish tactics that effective leaders don't use. You can't worry about whether or not your employees like you to the point where you're unwilling to provide negative feedback or do difficult tasks, like firing someone. 82% of people don't trust business leaders to tell them the truth. A good leader will always tell his employees the truth, even if it's not good news. It's your job to be captain of the ship and make sure your employees feel like they have lifeboats should problems arise at the company. Get comfortable with making tough decisions and acting quickly. Not everyone will like you, but people respect leaders who speak the truth.
Hey, thanks for listening. We hope that you enjoyed another lesson of Uncle Sam's American English. These audios are synced with our 4-book series. Contact one of our professors or join our online course by visiting our Facebook page, Uncle Sam's International.